people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, or they feel how much you care is probably more accurate. And so really that's taking the time to see what's beyond the surface layer symptomatology they may present. If they're coming on a wellness basis, then it's usually easier to get to those drivers, and then trying to just sink down with them and really try and get to the sense of identity that those drivers then create. And if that sounds really deep for you as you're listening to it, you don't quite get what that means, that's okay. Let's get the idea that what they come into your office with is urgent for them, but I'm going to suggest that it's superficial compared to their deeper drivers and what's actually important for them. So the difference between the urgent and the important. And if we can sink down with them and try and discover those with them, then we're starting to get them. We're starting to understand them in their lives, in their context. So if that's sounding a little conceptual, let's get very specific. A woman coming in who's in her mid-30s who might have, let's say, headaches, might be a mum. And with the headaches she's getting, it might be impacting her role as mother, and she might be more snippy with her kids than she'd like to be. So we're starting to get from symptom to a driver to a sense of identity of what kind of mum am I when I'm snipping at my kids. Now, you don't have to jump to that at the first visit, but acknowledging that within you and resonating that with her is going to help you to get her better. And so if we've got some of step one, if we're on the path to getting it and we're on the path to getting her, now those two come together in a magical space where we can relate to her, the message to her in ways that are going to make sense to her in her life situation, in her circumstance there and then.
And I think maybe a useful way to think about this is sometimes they say the thing that is the loudest alarm, the brightest light, the most superficial thing. And as you said, it represents something underneath, and it helps us to name that, to help them get it, to see their world from their point of view. And then also to take a bit of a stab for them, of what we know of them, at what it actually could be representing that they're not aware of, that they're not naming, that they haven't put any thought or attention to. And all of this brings up two things for me, which I always think about, which is what is your intrinsic driver, you, the person sitting in front of me, and then also what are the extrinsic drivers, depending on who you are and what stage you are in your own development in your own life.